much do you know about how the brain works? Do you think about your thinking? Do you think about the brain and how it works? And do you just wake up and do what you need to do every day? Okay, well, that's the way most people are. Most people don't think about their thinking. Most people just do whatever they need to do. And most people do whatever they need to do, and that's kind of the way they run and manage their life, okay? But maybe you could ask them questions about the brain and how the brain works. Would you be willing to do that? How the brain works and what is the brain? How much does it weigh?
Near 2 kilos.
Yeah, a little less than 2 kilos. Some brains weigh a little bit more than others, but Einstein's brain was, basically had the same weight as my brain, or your brain, or anybody's brain, okay, or Yanukovych's brain, okay. But there's probably a little bit of difference between Einstein's brain and somebody else's brain, and that would have to do with the way the neurons connect to each other. Every neuron has these branches. It almost looks like the root of a tree, and these branches connect with other neurons. Now, what is a neuron?
Part of the part of the, I don't know.
Well, the
simplest part of the nervous system.
Yeah, it is a cell. We would call the neuron a brain cell. And our brain is made up of about 200 billion neurons, okay? And these neurons, the brain neurons, are a little bit more complicated than other cells in the body because of the branching that we call it dendritic branching. And that at the end of these branches, there are connectors, and these connectors fire electrical charges that communicate with the other neurons. So there's a tremendous amount of electrical energy taking place in the brain. If you could get small enough, get into a tiny, tiny little spaceship, microscopic, and go through the brain, you would see tremendous electrical charges, okay? And we know that because of the neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are these chemicals in the brain that cause these reactions, cause the cells to communicate with each other. We need those neurotransmitters to be in very good shape for the brain to work properly, okay? So the brain is made up of these of billions of neurons that are interconnected with each other. And the brain weighs, as you said, a little less than 2 kilos. In pounds, it would be about 3.5 pounds on average. What is the brain made up of? What does the brain consist of?
Hemispheres? What do you call this?
Well, 2 hemispheres. The brain has 2 hemispheres, and the hemispheres are part of the cortex. And these hemispheres are connected by something that, a membrane. It's called the corpus callosum. And it connects the 2 hemispheres of the brain. And the corpus callosum is actually a membrane that is a little bit larger in the woman's brain. There's more interactivity between the 2 hemispheres in a female brain than a male brain, okay? And that's one reason why perhaps women are more linguistically gifted, and they tend to communicate more. They tend to want to share their feelings more and talk more because of this interchange of information between the 2 hemispheres. Men tend to be a little bit more concrete. There's not this intense flow of information going back and forth between the 2 hemispheres of the brain. So as a woman, you're probably more gifted linguistically, and you could probably learn languages better, okay? You probably want to talk more and share your feelings and emotions more than men. That doesn't say that all men are not gifted linguistically, but a woman's brain is better designed for communication. And when I look at couples and marital problems, I often find that it's the woman that wants to communicate and the man that doesn't, and that is a big problem in marriages. And it's partly the way that the male and female brains are connected, created, okay, designed. What else can you tell me about the brain? It's made up of a lot of neurons, billions of them, but what is the brain actually made of? There's two primary ingredients to the brain.
It's a gray substance?
It's a gray substance, but what does that gray substance consist of? It's spongy, it's a tissue, but what is it actually, if you were to look at it and what are the ingredients of that brain? What does it mostly consist of? Our brain is mostly water and fat, okay? There's not a whole lot of blood circulating in the brain, okay? There are membranes and there is blood flowing through the brain, of course, but it's mostly tissue that is made up of fat and water. And so if the brain is made up of fat and water, what does that tell you about how to take care of the brain?
To drink more water?
You should drink a lot of water. Yeah, drinking water is very good for your brain. It's very good for other parts of your body as well, but drinking water is very good for the brain.
Fresh air.
Fresh air, and fresh air basically helps with blood flow. If you have more oxygen to the brain, the blood circulation to the brain is better, and what you want is better circulation, more blood circulation to the brain, yeah. And oxygen does that. Now, we've got people coming in, I'm not sure who you guys are. Are you, anyway, do you guys know me? I don't know if you were here last week or not, but we will,
I was here last week, but I'm the grandson of Arthur.
okay, so that's fine, everybody's welcome.
Yep.
And what we're gonna do, guys, hopefully I'll be able to put together a slideshow. And, but right now we're basically gonna talk about how we think, and obviously, we're gonna put together the projector now. Ian, maybe we should turn the camera off for a bit, or is it running? And then we can turn it back on when we